Hey everyone, Platt Sam. Welcome to my inbox review of Hasegawa's 132nd Focke-Wulf Fw190D-9. So yes, you're going to have to bear with me today. It's been at least a couple of years since I've done an aircraft review. That was an airliner, a long time ago, and it's even longer since I've done a military aircraft. That was 4 years ago. That was Edward's P-51 and 48 scale. It's been a long time. If you know me, you know I do love my aircraft. But I kind of fell out of love of building aircraft quite some time ago and really struggled. And lately, I've been wanting to build another, so I thought, let's pick a kit up of something I've got a bit of interest in, a simple kit, and try and get it done. So I picked up Hasegawa's 32nd scale Focke-Wulf Fw190. I know it's meant to be a good kit. Plenty of people have told me it is. I've seen loads of them built, and it just looks a great aircraft. It's the sleek version of the Focke-Wulf Fw190. It just looks so good. And I also managed to rope Joe Camillarian for a buddy build of it as well. So Joe's got one. We'll buddy build them at some point this year. So stay tuned. Like I said, I'm a bit rusty on aircraft, so bear with me if the review's a bit lacking. I do apologise. But I was looking for a review. I've done a few reviews in the past few days, and it was actually Joe that said, why not do this for a change? And I thought, you know what? That's a good idea. That is a really good idea. So I've got a few extras for the kit. We're not really going to look at those in depth today. We'll look at those more when we come to do the video build. We'll show them in the videos. But for now, today, we're going to have a quick look through the box and a quick chat about the kit. Right then, so we've got the Hasegawa 132nd Focke-Wulf D9. So this is a kit I've already had in the stash in the past before. It's a kit I know is meant to be a really good kit to build. And obviously wanting to try my hand at aircraft again, I thought, you know what, this will be the kit to do it because it's a kit I've got interest in and I know it pretty much goes together with no real dramas. So I bought this. I found it on Amazon. I think it cost me about £45 delivered, which is a good price. I'm pretty sure it's no longer in production. And other prices that I found it for, some of them were £100, £120 plus. So to get one at that price, I was more than happy. Next day delivery on Amazon, and here it is. I do have some aftermarket extras for mine. I'll go through them very quickly at the end of the review. But when we come to actually do the build, we'll go through them a bit more in depth as we use them, but for the purpose of today's review, we're just going to focus on the kit. So it's got this iconic box art, which is pretty typical of Hasegawa. Beautiful scene depicted over the countryside of somewhere, God only knows where. Really nice box art, actually. Definitely one I'll be keeping, signed by the artist there as well. 32nd scale, so it's a good size aircraft. You get the same on the side with the information about the aircraft and the kit number 08069, a poorly represented model on the side. I'm not a fan of Hasegawa's built models. They just look really completely uninspiring. I don't think that model even has a wash on it, but it shows you what the real aircraft will look like. It's a 2012 Hasegawa kit, apparently, according to the box. I don't know where it was originally made. I know it's available in several boxes, including one that comes with white metal parts. I think it's called a high-tech kit. So in the box, we've got the instructions with the decals. We've got the clear sprue. And we've got a whole bag of bits. Everything is basically lobbed in there. So we'll deal with them as we go. And we'll deal with the instructions last of all. So I'm just going to pop all that up and out of the way. And we'll deal with this larger bag first. I'm going to grab myself a knife and we'll open up. I'm not a fan of all the parts being lobbed in one big bag, but it's just how it is. So we've got the tail section. We've got some undercarriage. Sorry for the rustlings. It is a bag. I can't help it, unfortunately. Once we're out there, we're sorted. So we've got the fuselage halves, drop tanks, wheels, cockpit, and the wingspan itself. So we're just going to pop everything over there, and we'll start with the largest sprue, which is the wings. So just move some of these bits out of the way. We'll have a look. Now, bear with me. It's been a long time since I've done a kit review. Now, one of the downsides to this kit is it has no riveting detail. There is a riveting detail from HGW, I believe it is. where it's aftermarket rivet decals to go on the exterior. We're going to do that. We're going to do that out the box. So it's got nicely depicted panel lines, if you can see them there. They're not big or they're perfectly acceptable in my opinion. There's some small surface detail here and there on the model, which overall looks really good. The kit is very well molded. There's no flash on there at all. It's all very crisp. Very, very clean mold. And like I say, it's 32nd scale. It's got a wingspan of approximately, I would guess, about 30 centimeters. So it's not too big, but big enough to be interesting to build and quite an interesting model once it's built up. So we've got some nice detail here. Just having a look at what we've got. So the flaps are fixed. Ailerons are fixed as well. You could probably move those with some careful adjustment. If you wanted to, or I'm sure there could be an aftermarket edition out there, but overall, like I say, really crisp. Got some nice raised detail here on the back of the aileron, and like I say, a few nice recessed areas here and there. Thankfully the recessed panel lines aren't too deep, because that is often a complaint. Next up, we've got the fuselage halves, the sides, and again, same kind of panel line engraving across the board there as well. There's not a huge amount of surface detail. It's a shame the riveting's not there, but it isn't. It's just one of those things. We've got the two halves. We've got the instrument panel. We've got the floor. We've got the nose cone, the spinner, the cowling for the engine. We've got the front upper nose. We've got the inner bulkhead, the propellers, and various other parts. And again, we've got a bit of flash on the mould, on the sprues here and there, but overall the mould is actually quite nice and crisp. So it actually looks really good. We've got what looks like yeah, there's some quite nice parts on there. They've got some quite nice surface detail on them. The instrument panel is quite nice as well. You can see there, it's got nice raised detail on it and recessed detail. So that looks really good. Looks very nice. And again, no problems there at all. Whilst there isn't a lot of surface detail, what there is will hold a wash really well. It's nice and thin panel line, so it's not going to look over scale. I just really do wish the kit had the rivet detail. And like I say, HGW does do a riveting decal set. Looks a nightmare to use. I've seen people use it, and I really don't fancy it. I want to make this a nice, simple build out the box to a degree. You'll see what I mean in a minute. I have some extras for this, but it's all stuff that will accentuate the kit. I don't want to be going to extremes. So I've just bought some, you know, simple, kind of essential aftermarket items. There's me saying out the box, and it won't be out the box at all. But it'd be near as damn it with just some essentials. On this sprue, we've got the exhaust, we've got the pilot figure. Where's his head? His head is there. So he's quite flashy. He's got a wicked scene down the back of him. You can see that there, around his ears. But the rest of his details, his torso isn't too bad. It's got some nice detail there. Not bad. All his arms are there as well. They're posed in position for the controls. Legs are here. Parachute is there. And yeah, not bad. We won't be using him. We've got a fuel tank. We've got the exhaust, like I say. They are not hollowed out, so you have to hollow those out if you want. Side instruments for the cockpit. Landing gear legs. The audios for the landing gear. We've got the wheels, which I've only got half of one. The other half's in the bag over there. Wheels and tyres look a bit bland and boring. It is what it is. But overall, really nicely, crisply moulded. Can't complain. Got some very delicate parts here. They're going to take a lot of care. Cut them off the sprues, but overall they look good. It's simple in places. You can see some of the controls are a bit simplified. We've got the cannons here as well. Looks like the control stick. So yeah, this is going to be a simple kit to build out the box if you go that route. We've got pretty much standard cockpit, apart from a Quinta detail set, which we'll get to in a bit. Cockpit itself, nice small cockpit, nothing too big, single seater obviously. Got landing gear bay doors. We've got the, let's have a look, elevators and horizontal stabilizers, rear landing wheel. We've got rest of the landing gear. We've got the seat there as well. Seat's not too bad. A bit of detail on that as well. Not bad at all. And again, some nice detail to these. Got raised and recessed areas on there. Not too bad at all. And the same on these panels at the back here too. So, while it's missing the riveting, the panel lines are nice, and they will look good with a wash in them. So there's all the larger sprues. There's not much to look at on this, to be honest. Got landing gear bay there as well, which does have some nice detail in there. Once you get that painted up and a wash in there, that'll look quite good. That won't look bad at all. And then we've got various other components, engine parts, which again, quite nice. I can pretend to know how half of these are, but they look good and they are really crisply moulded parts like this. Got this protective part around here as well. Very, very nice. I like go over a sander and you'll have those cleaned up in no time at all. And then the tail section here as well. So 2 halves need gluing together, popping in place. All good. Again, some nice recessed and raised detail on there as well. All fairly simple and straightforward. Not too bad at all. Like I said, we'll have a close look at this when we come to build it. But for now, we're just having a precursory look through the box, because I haven't done an aircraft review. It's been 2 years since I did that airliner, and it's been nearly 4 since I last did a military aircraft, and that was the Edward P-51 when it first came out. It's been quite a long time. Clear parts, Hasegawa are generally normally quite good. Let's have a little look. Yeah, they're nice and clear. Quite good quality. We've got some marks on the front screen, which probably won't show on the camera. It's just where it's been in the bag. But overall, nice and clear. Got 2 rear canopies. So you need to figure out which one you require. This one's about to fall off its sprue, so I'm going to cut it off before it damages the plastic. I think we'll just go a little bit further back, like so. There we go. That way we can have a proper look at it too. Just going to cut that off there nice and flush, because it's a little bit loose, that piece. There we go. So yeah, the clear parts are quite nice. They're actually optically quite good. There's a bit of distortion in there, but for a big clear part like this, obviously some of it's going to be painted. I think it goes from that line up and over, so a mask set is a must in my opinion as well. Makes your life a lot easier, although it is quite a simple one to do, and you've got quite a pronounced, no you don't have any pronounced detail on the front. So masking that up in the old, yeah, the old way with the cocktail stick to burnish, you take down, and a sharp blade would be quite difficult on this. So I know I've got a mask set, and yeah, we'll stick with that. We've got some poly caps in there as well, as you can see. There we go, and that's it. That is all the plastic parts we have. So it's a quick, well, it's a simple build. I don't think this one's going to cause much dramas. Like I said, I've not gone mad after adding aftermarket. We'll look at that in a second. We'll have a quick look through the instructions. We'll go through. We'll start with the decal sheet. It's a really nice big decal sheet. Hasegawa decals. These feel a little bit thick, but generally, they tend to go down okay. You've got all the instrument panels here are on the decals as well. Balkan cruisers are there. I don't think you get any swastikas in this. Nope, Hasegawa tends to leave them out because they're not legal in some countries. Lots of warning stencils. We've got the white markings here for the high visibility scheme that's on it. And yeah, the decals are good. They're all in register. Like I say, they're a bit thick in places. Like these lines here are really pronounced. You can feel them there. But generally, Hasegawa decals, I've never really had trouble with them. Although saying that, I have got a replacement set of decals with this kit, which we'll look at in a minute. Instructions, typical Hasegawa. If you've built Hasegawa kits before, this is just what they're like. They're almost like Tamiya instructions, very clear and concise. Bit of information on the front of the box there, or the front of the instruction booklet about the aircraft. If you want to read that, you can pause it and have a little read. Got the same picture as the box art, and a couple more down there as well. And we'll go through. First page, we've got all the sprues. We've got sprue layouts and their prices in yen for spares. And then all the colour call-outs are down here, and Mr. Colour and Mr. Hobby Accuracy are there as well. So lots of colours called out for here, including all the RLM colours. I have the Mr. colours are specifically bought for this. They're over there. And like I say, the instructions, typical Hasegawa. If you've built these before, they're quite busy. So you need to pay attention to what you're doing. But starting off with the cockpit, obviously your pilot, if you want them in, your instrument panel. You've got aftermarket parts, you're going to have to weigh them up and figure out where they're going in. All the components to the engine. Yeah, there's quite a lot to go in there. So it's quite a busy first section because you have to get all the cockpit done, all the engine, bulkheads in. They're all going to need to go in, the tail section at the back as well. And then moving on to getting the actual front of the engine in place, the cowl in, the underbelly to it. Well, it's actually the upper belly to it with the cannons in. Got the landing gear there as well, the wing braces or the spars. Just having a look through. And attaching the main fuselage tail assembly to the wing assembly. So you are going to have some sub-assemblies to deal with here. Then moving on to the landing gear. Auxiliary fuel tank, the canopies as well. Figure out which canopy you're going to require and go with that. So yeah, there's 3 schemes in the box. Decal scheme 3 has a different canopy. Scheme 3 has a different pylon removed. So keep an eye out for these. The 3 are all differences. So basically it's like an extra hole in places and things like that. So if you are doing scheme 3, which is this one here, I don't know what's special about scheme 3. It's just got a slightly different camo than the other 2. So other than that, there's not much to write home about. And then you got your camo layout. So it would be nice to get these in colour. It's where it's sometimes lacking a bit on instructions. 3 schemes, 1, 2 and 3. They're all pretty much the same as the same, apart from this one has the red and white. It'd be painted red with the white decals, or you mask it and paint it, whichever one you find easiest. But like I say, we're not going with this. We've got some aftermarket decals. And then on the very back page, we've got do's and don'ts about using tape and looking at it straight and using your cat's litter tray and scissors and what have you. Just all your generic stuff. And I've even got a QR code. Look at that. I've never seen that before. A QR code on the instructions featured in the video. Wow. I've never seen that. I'll have to have a click on that and have a little look. But that's the kit. So it is a nice simple kit. It shouldn't prove too troublesome. Like I say, I've added some aftermarket bits. Things I consider essential. So we've got the mass set, which I think is a must. It makes life so much easier. I've been there and done it the old way. The old way. And yes, you can do it that way. But why struggle? Yeah, it can be a bit of a fiddle sometimes. Just looking at it and hoping I've got the right mask. It just says 190D. It doesn't say 9. I'll have to check on that one, but I'm assuming it's the right one. So we've got the mass set. We've got the Quinta decals for the interior. These things look beautiful, although Andy Callis, my buddy, is building this and their interior colour is way off the interior colour called out for. It's much darker on the real plane, I believe, so why Quinta have gone for that grey, I don't know, but it is what it is. We've got the exhausts as well. These have the ends already moulded in them, so they're nice, and a decal set 2. I haven't picked exactly which plane. Oh, yes, I have. I did pick exactly which plane I was going to do, didn't I? I forgot. I remember now. So I'm going to do... Which one was it? I think it was yellow, number 1. I think it's that one there we're going to do, which is this one here. So a nice freehand camo. A little bit of mottling on the side. You've got the swastikas, which comes in these decals. So that's what I'm going to do. There's the colours required at the bottom. So like I say, when we come to build this, we'll have a proper look through it. There's all info. There's all the stencil markings as well. So when we come to build it, we'll have a really good look through. The decals look really nice. I've had a look at these. They're eagle cowls. There we go. Very, very nice decals. You've got your nose spinner decals there. Lots of stencils. Swastikas are there as well. And all the markings there too. So I probably added a good £30 worth of aftermarket to this. Some of it is essential. I would say the mass set is. the decals, the Quinta interior set and exhaust. The luxuries, you don't have to. You could build out the box, but for me, I didn't want to do any of the box schemes. I just want to do something slightly different, which is why I spent a little bit of money on Aftermarket. But there we go. There is our Focke-Wulf Fw190D-9. There we go then. That's it. It's quite a simple kit, as I've said. I think it's going to build up with no real issues, no real dramas. The great thing about the Focke-Wulf and the Messerschmitt is they have that central spine on the top and bottom of the aircraft, so I can get away with not filling the seam line, which is great. So a bit of careful glue application there, a little bit of careful sanding. That'll be true to form. Some nice camera work to do on it, a little bit of freehand, some mottling as well, which I've got stencils for. And I'm hoping this will be a nice, quick, simple, easy enough build. I know Andy Callis wants to build it with us. Andy's got a head start. He's done his cockpit now. But Andy needs a head start because he does struggle to find time to get to the bench. But myself and Joe will build this at some point this year. It is penciled in as a build. Just with so much going on, it's finding the time for all these builds. But it is definitely penciled in this year. So hopefully, in the not too distant future, you will see this kit getting built. And it will be nice to build an aircraft. And who knows, it might spur on other builds. We will see. Baby steps, let's see how it goes. And we'll work on one kit at a time. So there we are. That's my review of Hasegawa's 32nd scale Focke-Wulf Fw190D-9. So, yep, great kit, simple kit. A few aftermarket touches to make it a bit more interesting, but hopefully it'll be a nice quick build. And there we go. As always, if you'd like to support me, help me with my videos, keep the channel going. There's a Patreon me link down below. You become a patron and support the content creation on this channel. There's all different tiers you can choose from. You get all different levels of support and benefits. There's a PayPal me and a Buy Me Coffee link down below if you want to make a one-off donation as well. And there's links to everything in the description. Everything pro scale, paint, UMP retail, all the news for the live shows, Off Air Hangouts. There's links to the Facebook page, the forum, my personal modelling page, my Etsy page where my models are for sale. There's an email address to get in touch with me. There's all the products I use in all my videos. And of course, make sure you sub to the channel, click the bell notification, give the video a thumbs up, and make sure you're subbed. I've already said that? I think I have. I'll leave a comment. Love reading all your comments. Don't expect this video to do that great because I haven't done an aircraft review in so long. I might have lost a lot of my core aircraft followers. But if you're watching, say hello. Let me know what you think of the reviews. Would you like to see more aircraft reviews? I'm not promising anything, but maybe further down the line we can look into it. And there we are. That's it. There's my first aircraft review in about 4 years. So thanks for joining me today. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.